advertisements all the way down. Hey y'all, it's Goldilocks. Thought I'd jump back on. Shout out to my niece, Tyann, Tylea, Maddie, great nieces. Thank you for stopping by. Hello, hello, hello. I pray you have a blessed night. Good night. Y'all should be getting out of school soon. It's August. If not already out. Heading back in No, maybe getting back into school. I forgot. August, September, school starts. Yeah. August, September, October, November. Yeah. I'm all over the place. You can see it's been a while for me. But I popped back on here because it was two cute little sisters. And they doing their little thing. And I feel sorry for them because the mother is kind of disciplining them when they just playing. Now they in a sad state of affairs. Bless they sweet little cute souls. And they was cute together. They was sitting there looking at something on the phone going, and they was in harmony going, and then the baby sister went, ugh. And then they started again going, whatever they was looking at, I guess it's pictures of maybe something good to eat. And it's going, It was so cute. And then they started running and playing and their mom like put some vocals on them. And you can see the older sister feel some type of way. Like, Mom, would you chill? You know, depending on, I guess, wherever you're from in Asia, you know, some of these parents make sure you got, public behavior, public decorum. You know, you got your public behavior and then you got your home behavior. And, big sister's looking at me, looking all sad. I just smiled at her to let her know it's okay. Mommy's doing her job for whatever mommy think is best. You know. And that, that's the choice of parenting. Some parents are more strict than others. I don't think I was a strict parent at all. I had standards though, but I don't think I was strict. And I think that like the little fella, I gotta post a picture of him. I'm gonna post it in my post section where you post pictures. I was talking about him yesterday, and he was actually from Japan, and he was a baby kid. But Japanese are cool. I love Japanese men. I haven't met many females, but the fellas is dope. And I got a live with two young fellas, young gentlemen from Japan. And they were friendly, they were open, they were making it clear, that, they could understand I was speaking English and I sounded American, so they wanted to show love, and I had to show love back. Look like the girls' daddies here, so they kind of calming down. So it looked like they happier. They at ease. They seem to be more joyful again. Because they were on the phone playing. I think it's so cute. But it's when me and Versace first sat here, that row of seats was not there. Their crew or whatever, whoever runs the airport, brought this extra row and put it in front of us. So since they did that, we've been seeing I guess, getting more close to a lot of people. Like I posted photos of or pics of the young lady from Germany, how she, stepped up here. And the ladies were wonderful. They were beautiful. They were well spoken, and they were sweet, and they were generous. Um, but I guess that's the age group and the style that they in. Everybody's got their time period, and they actually, the style of clothes. They go through that thing. So they had the style of clothes, and one was rather, I guess, what we had back in the States is Daisy Duke. She was Daisy Duke. She was Daisy and Duke, and with her um, shorts. So in that regards, you can see the pics for yourself. It's there. It speaks for itself. Versace was laying down, so he didn't look up to see anything. If he did, he'd probably be like, what's going on here? But the girls were generous. They gave, they were like, the one little lady that was with her, she turned around and said, you gonna be here in Bangkok for a while? She's like, we get ready to catch our flight. She said, please take all of these. So you see how God work? I'm saving it too. So just in case, once the donations start flowing in, I have that on deck too. I don't know how much it is worth or valued, but I'll have those. It was just 2 handfuls of coins, and I so happened to just drunk a cup of tea. And I told her if it's okay with her, I'd be delighted to have it. And I'm thankful and grateful, and I'm thankful for her generosity and her kindness. And I'll save it in the cup. And she was like, absolutely. She had a little accent, but it was crazy how good her English was, because she speaks German. Her English was pretty clear. All right, I'm gone. I'm out. Hopefully this will post and go up, and I will see y'all, in the next Bangkok airport, stuck in Thailand. But things are working out. I know. I always, God prepared me for something like this. So when things happen in your life and you go, well, why is that happening? Later on, you put 2 and 2 together, and you learn why things happen the way they do, or why, things go the way they go, So I don't argue. I don't, I don't have a pity party. I do got to catch myself sometimes, because some things is hard for me to get over. Like, look, this man got his fresh tea or coffee, and it's sitting on the seat where the dude had his feet on. And also the dude was picking something off of his legs, flicking it out of his scalp, flicking it. I'm like, bruh, somebody got to come back and sit there. Or like this man, he got his coffee sitting there. And I mean, granted, I know his coffee is clean and safe in the cup, but to be around other people's debris, like some of that stuff can be like skin cells and, other little microscopic, debris from his feet and stuff. That stuff can fly in the air and land on where your lip is about to drink that clean coffee or tea. And, you're taking in somebody's DNA like that. So don't think I don't know, because I've watched enough forensic shows where they be cracking cases, and it's just off of stuff they looked up in the microscope. They busted out the microscope and they solved the case. Trust and believe, whether it was a strand of hair, a piece of dandruff, a skin cell, whatever the DNA was, that DNA is there, and it can get airborne. And that's one thing about the tiniest little microscopic things, whether it's skin, whether it's a cell, whether it's a virus, whether it's a bacteria, they know how to, work the air. That's they main highway. It's when they float in the air, and then when they land, especially if they land on an open wound, land on your cup like him, drinking his coffee, thinking everything is Gucci. Or like us, we got badly sick. You know, we had the flu here. Because, you know, the microscopic get downs is all in the air, you know, and the way they habits are just sneezing and coughing and digging in their nose in the air. Everything's in the air. And that's like a major highway when it comes to, you know, what we call germs or the microscopic world getting around. That's another thing. That's why a lot of, Americans and people around the world in general, and I know they got to be getting hit up here in Thailand with the plastics. I mean, it's micro, it's like what do they call it? The microplastics. You know, the micro, whether it's from foil, aluminum foil, microplastics, heavy metals, any microscopic element, whether it's organic or inorganic, if you get enough of it in your body, will cause problems with your filtration problems, with your kidneys, your liver, your lungs. And if you eat it, which we do eat it, you know, there's parasites in our vegetables. There's parasites definitely in meat. And actually the worst parasites is in meat. You know, in, fish, where you get, and pork, where you get tapeworms and different kinds of different worms and different parasites that thrive in our body and mess up everything. So, it comes out in your skin when you got breakouts, and you don't understand it comes from parasites as well. A lot of people don't understand you get inflammation, like a bloated gut. That's parasites. You know, me and V was over here sweating, fevers. I kept wanting to throw up. I kept having like nauseated, bad. See, if I was back home, or if I was out in Bangkok somewhere, I probably would have been able to get a hold of some ginger and some turmeric and maybe some black seed oil, some oregano oil, like these certain herbs and spices, and some whatever hot pepper I can get. The hotter the better. They kill everything. Look at this chick. Look like she getting her life together. But I'm like, why would you wear tight pants? And let me mind my own business. I be seeing how the international movement is, move and groove, and it just be having me like, wow, I'm witnessing this. All I can say is wow. But, life is interesting. Take advantage of living your life to the fullest. Don't get caught up in nothing that'll keep you stressed, negative, especially negative stress. We're always going to have stress, but you want the good, positive stress. Like working out, if you jump roping, biking, anything physical, is a good stressor. But like anything that's negative, that works the nervous system in a negative way, low vibration, low energy, you want to stay away from that. You either want to break that habit, pray, meditate, breathe, enjoy life, make your life enjoyable, cook your favorite foods, have your nice little get-togethers with the ones you love, the folks that's cool. Just keep life at a high vibration. It's important to keep life at a high vibration. It's so important. To keep life at a high vibration. Excuse me, y'all, I'm sorry. Um, and for those who not at that high vibration, they working on a low frequency, low energy, low vibration. Pray for them. Lift them anyway. Lift that individual anyway. Because the universe and God is magical. You know, you know, I come to the realization, and I thank God, I thank the Heavenly Father, the Heavenly Mother, I thank the universe and the earth and the sun, everything that's in alignment, because the earth, is in alignment where it rotates and the other planets in our galaxy rotate around the sun. There's a reason for that. It's an alignment, divine, where our galaxy is spinning and we're placed divinely in it. We're all connected. Everything's connected. Because if everything was out of order, we would be instantly destroyed. And people don't see that. People don't understand that. I mean, it's just as profound as the microscopic world is. And which shout out to, when I think about the microscopic world, I always think about a gentleman named Yakai Awaken. Because he stays on top of that. He'll take a sample of your blood and put it in the microscope and see exactly what's going on in your blood. Whether it's a heavy metal in your blood, if there's plastic particles, if there's foreign particles, if there's parasites. It should just be pure blood cells, red blood cells, white blood cells floating through your blood. Not anything else. If there's anything else, you're going to have problems. You're going, that's where cancer and tumors and things start up. The brain fog, brain issues, thinking. You start having liver problems, kidney problems, because you got stuff in your blood that shouldn't be there. But you won't know that until you look in a microscope and see what's going on in the microscopic world. The same thing with the universe and how our earth and how we're divinely placed. We're synergetically placed at this moment in time to exist. Because just think a million years from now, we long gone. It's going to be whatever species it's going to be dominate, whether it's still the human being or whatever species. This planet's going to continue to evolve and continue to, feed the universe, and the Heavenly Father is going to continue to create. We're just one of multiple creations that will come and that will go. As things change, the ones that can adapt will be the top of the era. I think every species has a top of its time, and it's only based off of what is available for it to adapt. Because just think about it. Just think, if our air, if this planet wanted to change anything about our oxygen, what's the chance of us surviving that? Think about it. I mean, really. It's only going to be those species that either don't need air or don't require air or can adapt with less air, less oxygen, or the elements, the elements that make up, on the periodic table, the elements that make up, that we know, as humans know, that makes up oxygen, that makes up, heavy metals, that makes up everything that we see and need. From our water, our water, I said H2O. It's H2O? H2O, yeah. Our air, oxygen, and we're, Lord have mercy. They daddy didn't cover his mouth, y'all. I'm already sick. Let me give him a clue. They don't catch on because they've been doing what they doing for a minute. My little 2 minutes of coughing in a paper towel, it don't send no kind of red flags like, bruh, get you one. Anyway, all right. Again, Goldilocks. If you just come into my channel, my live, thank you so much for coming through. I want to thank you. I want to give gratitude. I want to show gratitude because I am grateful and I am thankful. Again, I'm live here in the one of Bangkok, Thailand's largest airports. Stuck like Chuck because they drained my funds. But things are turning around because I pray on it and I hold the universe accountable. And I demand and I command and I declare and I decree what I need. And without fail, it always happens. Y'all gonna see. I'm gonna keep posting it so y'all see where I was, and you'll see the progression and the blessing. It's like the progression. Some people I use blessing, but some people like drop the word because it's be less. That's what it spells. Bless, be less. So it's highly favored. So we highly favored, and each of us have that ability to choose to be highly favored. It's what you choose, because you are what you speak. You are what you think. So think highly of yourself. Speak highly of yourself. When you look in the mirror, know that you are a highly and favored human being. All right, I guess y'all getting to know a little bit about me as y'all get to know a lot about my situation. But, you know, again, I'm a certified DJ. I love music, have all my life. Love music, love dancing. Continue to now, at this moment. I love, and y'all can see that on my channel because that's mostly what I focus on. And God willing, I guess I could say my dream. My niece came on and was like, your dream, live your dream. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe it is me still living out my dream. That's music. You know, doing my own music. And I got so much to put out. So I look forward to teaming up with our musicians, other artists, and teaming up with a producer and a team, a DJ, you know, someone that can help produce the music. We get in the studio and work, even if it's a home studio, because you can do everything on your own now. And then with AI, it seems like everything going down. All right, I love y'all. See y'all in the next one. Remember, stay light. Keep everything at ease and stay light. Remember how you used to feel as a child. No worries. You don't have to go, I wish I was a kid again. I don't have to deal with all these responsibilities. Before y'all go, she remind me of my sister, this lady. She right there. Seem like I see my youngest sister all over Thailand. It's like deja vu all day, every day. I'm like, ooh, that look like Juju. Ooh, there's Juju. And I'm like, you know, Mom, you got some explaining to do. All right, I'll see y'all.